Alright. All right, hi. I'm having less issues than last time because all the tech issues that I did have happened already in the morning class. But I'm having issues with Zoom on the other computer, so I need to type in some stuff before I can be with you guys. So let me get in to this one. Although we don't really need a second computer if it's only two, but still. There we go. Okay. All right. Can you guys hear me well? Yeah. And can I go ahead and have you guys say something? See if I can hear you well.
Hello.
I can hear you. All right.
Hello.
Yay. Thank you, Colette. Thank you, Samuel. Hi, Rebecca, all the way from home again today. And guess what? Paula came to join us today. So now we have Sue and Paula. So Rebecca was on one side of Sue. Now we have Paula on the other side. So we're all keeping Sue company. And me, keeping me company too, by the way, because I'm here and I like having people. All right. So welcome everyone. Let's go to the chat and let's say good afternoon. Although it's almost evening right now. I guess. I don't know. What is 5 p.m.? Is 5 p.m. evening or afternoon? What's it considered?
I think it's afternoon.
It's afternoon. So that's a total cultural thing. In Argentina, it would be like still early. But for some people here, they're having dinner. It's like, you American weird people. Love you guys, but you eat so early. Anyway, and of course, Brazilian Paula totally gets me. Because like my husband has dinner at like 5:30. I know, not me. Like, oh my God. I trained my family as a total late dinner people. So late for here, but still early for Argentina. So when we have dinner, it's between 8 and 9. And over here, people would be like, oh my God. And for us, it's still like, what? You're having dinner at 8. You don't have dinner till like 10. So yeah, it's weird. We just eat differently. But no, my kid, in that sense, everyone is totally Argentinianized. I don't know. We eat late in my family. So basically I go home after this and they're waiting for me for dinner. So
Nice.
yeah, I got them trained. Okay. So hopefully everyone else or the rest of us join. Oh, here they go. Here comes Tatiana. And put you guys in the chat. Okay, make sure to have Photoshop and Bridge open, of course. Let me close that. And the one thing that I don't have here yet is the Padlet. And here it is, Photoshop Hyflex Padlet. Oh, so the only thing is that for you guys to go to Padlet, let me share my screen. Yeah, hold on. I share the screen and head over to Padlet. And let me help you guys figure out how to. So no, you can't log in because you don't have the link. And since you don't have the chat, but it's in the handouts, in the same place where you downloaded the class files. You closed it. Oh, so you left it. Let me see in the history if we can still get back to my drive. Okay, good. It was still memorized. So because it's the first time you go in this computer, so it's kind of okay. So here's in the class recording links. Over here we have the Padlet links. You can see all the ones here, right? Okay, so we'll keep that one open and we won't. And Padlet, here's Padlet, and let me get you on Padlet, although you just look at it from here, right?
How do I
So
get
you're fine. Of what?
thing that's
Oh, what is behind there? It's
behind?
Photoshop.
Welcome to Photoshop.
Okay, so first, wait. See, that's gonna drive you crazy if you keep moving this out of the way. Let me move this back where it went. See, I don't know how to handle it from here, so hold on. Here we go. Instead of getting rid of, just go here, because then it's next to each other.
Okay,
Go here and click on Photoshop. There you go. And then, and this is fine. This isn't the welcome. This is how, when you don't have a file open, it reads you that way. And then and then I go to bridge for bridge and Photoshop for Photoshop. So you don't have to move anything around anywhere. Now this is not set up correctly. Let me reset your layout. Okay, there we go. So now
it's been sent to.
the layout, because you were losing this portion. Okay, so that's the right way to have bridge open. You have it open the right way already. Okay, good. And Eric's coming in. Here we go. Perfect. Okay, so hi, Eric. So you guys right now, since the classroom is
Hello.
so small, we have people. I'm gonna put the programs over here and quit that and close that. And then over here, I'm gonna have the class so you guys can see each other. Let me, hold on, I'm changing how we view things. Let me actually stop the share for a second so that I can set up the gallery on the right side. Over here. All right, so Tatiana, welcome, and Eric, welcome. Everyone else I had already said hello to. And Sue and Paula are here in the classroom today. And I was sharing the Padlet. So let me get you guys the link so that everyone can go to the Padlet, and let me put that in the chat. And hold on while I get the chat open and established in my other monitor. Okay, here we go. So everyone go to the chat and give me a hello that you're here, and then click on the link to get to Padlet. And now let me share my screen so that we can see you guys. I have a whole new setup for the computer after the tech issues that we had this morning. Well, I guess this afternoon, the class that I taught this afternoon that we had to deal with, you know, how the sound was not working the other day. So now it's all fixed, but it took a bit of doing, but now we're ready to go. Share. Okay, and now I'm going to put you guys in that mode over here so we can all see each other. Perfect. Although we're really just seeing Colette because everyone else has their videos off, but that's all right. And here's the Padlet. All right. So if you put something in there today, I didn't see it yet. So Colette, I hadn't seen yours yet because I've been teaching all day. Everyone else is just classwork, which is fine, but don't forget that once again, the request is for you guys to open up one of your own photos and try the things that you try in class and then to post them here, right? So over here, Colette, this is your before and after then? Okay. So in order to bring the birds back on top of the cliffs, you use levels when painted a sky with a low opacity brush. Use the brush to even out and match the brightness everywhere, and use hue saturation to pop some washed out colors. And there's still a lot of halo. What's the best approach to removing those? Okay, so here's what she's talking about. So here's the before. See how washed out the birds are and the sky. And in fact, there's some haze here in front of the cliffs. And so she used masking, and over here we can see a little bit the parts of them. No, this is the before and after mask. So this isn't the mask she used for the, where the skies were there, the clouds were there, but so faint, right? So it's not like she invented clouds, but she used levels to bring them down. And then that also helped the birds pop in. But then the problem is, see how on the edge of the cliff, there's a little halo? Can you tell that it's not completely, like, if you look at the sky, you wouldn't have that halo around the cliff if you were looking at it. That's because it's a brush that did that, right? And usually when you have a soft brush and the mask is soft, it tends to do that. So there's better ways of masking. That said, the results that you got, I mean, look, all this stuff over here where the sun was kind of, you know, burning up a bit the green. You got it to look green. Over here, you have the water that was a bit too shiny is now not so reflective. So in general, everything that you did to this image makes it much better. The only thing is that soft halo. So we're going to talk about other kinds of other ways to get better selections and stuff. But what the tools that you applied are all very well applied. So yay. Awesome, Colette. Good job. Since we're just beginning to learn selections, it's fine if that's the solution that you get with a bit of a halo. We're going to work on different ways of solving that. Okay. Let me move this over on the other computer so I can see you guys better. Here we go. And then for the most part, this computer will stay. I taught the entire class with that computer today while they were fixing this one. So I was glad I had it, but I don't really need it for Photoshop because there's just a few of us. Okay. All right, so that's it for here. As I said before, please, if you've done anything and you just haven't posted it, please post it. And if you haven't done anything, then, you know, Monday to Wednesday, that kind of makes sense. People have lives. But between Wednesday to Monday, hopefully you will have some time to sit and practice whatever we're going through. And again, you can use class files if you don't have any files available. But if you find something of your own that you can work on, so much the better. Because my goal, as I always say, and I don't know if I said it in this class already, my goal isn't to have you guys walk out with a really good photo of mine that looks really good. My goal is that you learn to use a tool and that you can then apply it to yours and that you make one of your photos look good. But yeah, sometimes you just don't have a photo of the example that I gave that day. Then that's fine. You can use anything. And so let's head over to Bridge. Before I start though, I forgot to ask, did anyone try anything and they didn't work or they have questions or God, they set up the microphone now. They set it up today in a way that when I talk into it, it's really loud. And when I talk, it's so localized. I have another one that they put in front of my mouth that I might need to use. You guys can't hear it at home, but it feels like when I do like that, like I'm on a loudspeaker, and if I do like that, I'm not. So it's kind of weird. So anything that came up with trying to do the work? Nope. Or you haven't done the work, which is fine. No questions, no hands, nothing. All right, cool. So then let's go to Bridge. And remember that I do have time set up in class to help with those things. So it's not like you would be slowing the class down if you ask. That's what's supposed to happen at the beginning. All right. So now not to well, even Tatiana, because you did save them to your drive. What we should be seeing in your Bridge right now would be the photos of the files that we, the preview, the little thumbnail, the file that we worked with. And if you left it with the same name, but added something in the end, or if you left it the same name, right next to it, you should have stuff that we've been working with, only it's a PSD, Photoshop document. And we did it so fast at the end of class last time, because we were in a bit of a hurry, that I didn't get to explain a little bit that the PSD stands for Photoshop document, and that's the native file that you would use when you save a Photoshop file. It will always want to save it as a PSD if it's a layered file. And all these masks and things that we've been creating have been creating layered files, okay? Now, I want us to open, and I know that I've used this for people who took my Friday class, but I'm just going to use it very briefly. Tatiana and Paula are new to the Photoshop class, and I just want to show really briefly a layered file with objects versus masks, which is this chameleon layers. We're not going to play with it too much right now, but let's double click on it because it's a bit different than the layers with masks that we did the other day. and it's already layered. First of all, we would have the tool would be the selection tool or whatever tool we were using last class is the one that's going to be on right now. When you close Photoshop, its settings remain kind of frozen in stone. When you open it again, it continues, even if it's 10 weeks later or 2 days later, the same tool that you were using last and the size that you were using it last. So if last time you used a brush with black and it at whatever size, it'll be set at that size. Is that, remember? So remember that the brush might look huge or tiny depending on what photo you're on, but it's the same brush you used last, et cetera, et cetera. So I guess the last thing I taught you was selections, and I was in this brush. So 2 days later, I'm still in that brush. Now I'm going to move up to select this brush, which we didn't use that much actually the other day, but this is the brush that's the tool that we kind of live on. It's the move tool, and it's the one that we start with, and whenever we're in between and we don't know, hold on, yeah, I thought I had touched the sound on this. I didn't. Okay. Just so you guys remember, if at any point you guys at home stop hearing me, you need to say, I can't hear you. I need to go to my little microphone and I need to turn it on again, because it turns itself off like about once an hour or something. And you need to just tell me, I can't hear you. And then I have to turn it on again. Okay. All right. So, so the move tool here is the tool that we should always default to. And no matter where else you're in, you would be doing something to the image. So you kind of don't want to live in the rest. If you're in the brush, you might be suddenly, painting an image. If you're, and I have my opacity at 10% from what we did last week, see, instead of 100%. So I was trying to show you how I can just paint white on something and it didn't because that was at 10%. That's graffiti. That's white paint over an image. I won't want to do that. So you want to just leave any other tool you're in and always default to the move tool. How do we grab the move tool quickly? Because we don't want to always be going all the way there to grab it. It's much better if we just hit the V key, which is the shortcut for the move tool. So notice that if I hover over the move tool, or I hover over any of these tools and hold for a little bit, it tells me here, rectangular marquee, the M. If I hold to the brush and I just wait for this up here, it says brush tool, B. You see that? So these letters that appear, those are the keys on my keyboard that if I click on them, I'll get to the tool. So right now, without my mouse, if I click the V, I have moved up to the move tool. You see that? How this one got selected? So it's really easy to move. The only time you can't move to the tool with the V is if you're in the text tool, because you're actually typing and you type a V, it actually types a V. It's the only one where it doesn't work. But for everything else, you want to be always in the move tool. Okay. And then hold on, because whenever I move my my mouse and things move out of the way and suddenly things disappear, who remembers what the shortcuts are for zooming in and out of an image and to seeing the entire image well? Say that again. That's actually that's to make a brush bigger or smaller, actually. But to zoom in and out of an image, to make an image big or small,
The plus and minus command.
Command for PC, Control, and for Mac Command, and then plus or minus. So I can do Command or minus, or to fill my screen with the image is, you just did it, Command what? Command 0. So if I were to do Command 0 right now, my screen pops in again. So sometimes you just lose your stuff. It's gone, it's not visible, right? Or you're in some weird. So Command 0 fills your page with the image, okay? So if you're not sure if you're seeing the whole image, if you're seeing part of it, it is Command 0. That brings you back to center, back to fill the page. And what was the zooming that I had to use in order to see the image at its best of its ability? Say that again, so I didn't hear. 100%. And what's the shortcut for 100%? Command 1, okay? In this case, because of the resolution of my screen, Command 1 shows me the entire image, plus it leaves a little bit of black around it. But on your screen, Command 1 might have zoomed into the image. It might have been, you might have a lot less white, more white around it. Does that make sense? So it's all about whatever screen you're in. Okay, So now we're at 100%. Command 0 fill the screen was only a little bit bigger in this case. It was 106% down there, so it wasn't much different. Sorry, I have a mouse that's really weird, so it keeps moving things around. When you see it moving out of the way, it's because I'm not accustomed to this mouse here at school. We have two layers, two layers that are actually 2 pixel layers. One pixel layer is the bottom one, is the background, and it's full. This iguana is sitting on top of this pink background, and so it's opaque. There's nothing else that I can see around it. And then the top layer, layer 3 right now it's called, is this ball. If I have my move tool on and I click on this ball, I can move the ball around happily. And I'm moving this layer all over the place. But watch what I'm about to do. So I'm going to leave the ball way over there. Okay. And now, oh, Mike's wanting to come. Why is there a little box around my, whenever I click, there's a box around my mouse. That's new. Is that Zoom trying to show me where our mouse is? Okay, that's new. And I just updated this Zoom. So when you see that green box there, it's not me doing it. Zoom trying to have you see my mouse, okay? Oh, you're not even seeing it. You guys at home, are you seeing a box around my mouse? On this one where I'm seeing it like you guys, I'm not seeing it. It's so weird. Are you seeing it there? Yeah, for some reason we're seeing it here. Okay, never mind then. By the way, someone just joined us. Hi, Mike. Nice to see you. We just opened this image, the chameleon layers, and I'm working on some basics of layers, and then we're going to move into today's class. So,
Did you just start, or did you start at 5:30?
we started at 5:10, but then I had some tech issues, so we're
Oh,
5:30, and we're just kind of.
yeah, I couldn't get in with the link.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I just saw you right now
Oh,
in the waiting
interesting.
room.
But
it said that you were, waiting for you to.
Well, at 5,
And
remember
then-
that you guys don't come in at 5. You come in at 5:10. Okay, even though the class starts at 5, since I have to deal with stuff here.
Oh, okay.
I mean, normally if everything is fine, I can open at 5, but I always leave a few minutes for tech issues that are happening. So in the Zoom, it says for people who are on Zoom to join us at 5:10. Okay.
Sorry, I'm late.
So if you were at 5 waiting for me to let you in, I didn't open the Zoom class until 5:10. Okay. So back to what I was saying, the move tool, all right, in the way that I have it set up right now, allows me to do the following. Watch. I'm going to put my mouse over here where the ball is not, but I'm going to click and drag and see how I'm moving the ball. That's because I am using this move tool with the auto select turned off. Now, some of you guys have it turned on. And this is the only part that I want to use this file for, to really remind you guys about this, because with this turned on, which is how Photoshop comes, also it comes with the show transform controls turned on. So if you've opened Photoshop and the first time you open it, you have these two on, please turn this one off, the show transform controls for sure off. And then the auto select, let me just show you the difference. The auto select is like easy mode for non-intense Photoshop users. And if you're using it in this mode all the time, I venture to say during the class time that you're with me, turn it off, learn to use it my way. If you really don't like it, you can turn it on again and use it that way when you're on your own, but try at least for the 3 hours we're together twice a week to force yourself to use it with it off, because, and I'm going to show you now why. When it's on, then anything your mouse points to is what's selected, which is logical. It makes sense. I point to the ball and I move it and the ball moves, right? If I point to the chameleon should move, but it's not moving. And does anyone who's more of an accustomed to Photoshop want to tell me why the chameleon isn't moving right now?
well, you're not on that layer.
Nope, it's not the reason why. The background is locked. See this little lock right there?
Mhm.
It's locked. So make sure to unlock it by clicking on the lock. That's how easy it is to lock it, unlock it. And now you can click on the chameleon and move the chameleon. And this space that's left behind is emptiness, nothingness, transparency, air, and that gray and white boxes. Now, if you're on a Mac or on a PC, on the PC, I think it looks like much bigger squares that are gray and white, but other than that, it's the same thing. Okay, so now I'm moving a fully solid background layer, but I'm moving it around. And then if I click on the ball, I'm moving the ball around. Okay, makes sense. You'd think it's easy. But the problem is that sometimes we don't see our layers. So let's go over to layers and let's grab this ball and drag it under the chameleon. And let go. Now I just see the chameleon. So I can move the chameleon, but I don't see the ball. So I can't move the ball, which you might want to say, well, so what? If I don't see it, why do I want to move it? Well, actually, sometimes it does matter if we need to move things that we can't see. For example, masks and stuff like that. Remember how we can't see our mask? There's many times, that's just the only one that you guys know about. But there's reasons why you might want to need to do things to layers that aren't necessarily at the top of the stack. There's a couple of other reasons why this is important, but watch the difference if I now turn off the auto select. So leave the auto select off, and Paula, make sure to turn off this next one too, the show controls. I think you have it turned on too. The show controls, I think you have it turned on, I'm not sure. You have to be in your move tool. Yeah, so turn off show transform controls. Okay, and you'll see why in a minute that I could tell it was on. Okay, so now here, oh, this mouse, it keeps jumping on me. Okay, so now we turn off the auto select. So the same tool will work very differently, you guys, but this is how you need to get accustomed to using it and how I want you to use it during the time that we're in class. Now, when I look, what I need to do from now on is pay attention always to what layer is selected over here. So what layer is, oh, this is why I need to, hold on, I need to move all my tools because this, I have my annotation tools pop up and get in the way. So I need to move that over there. Okay, so now I need to move you guys out of the way. Hold on, I'm reorganizing my desktop based on something I just did. Okay, here we go. All right, so we need to look over here at the layers and notice that one or the other lights up when I click on it. Depending on the color you have at home, when I teach on this computer, on my computer, it goes darker gray or lighter gray. Here it goes a little bit bluish gray or gray. But the one that's selected is the one that's going to move. So if I select the chameleon layer, I'll move the chameleon layer, which, okay, that's no different than before. Now let's select layer 3. Now layer 3, I can't see. But if I look at this little pixel layer area, it turns out that I am moving it. Look at what happened to the ball down there. You see that? As long as the layer is selected, the elements that are on it move. You might want to know, why would I want to move the ball if I can't see it? So just trust me, it is so important to know that whatever I do from now on this computer, before I can make anything happen, I need to make sure that layer is the one that is selected. Some of you experienced last week, last class when we were doing masking, that the mask wasn't appearing on the right thing, and it's because the wrong layer was selected. So every other tool other than the move tool, you need to have the layer selected for it to work. So why make an exception for the move tool? If you make an exception for the move tool, then you don't get accustomed to selecting layers. You know what I mean? So by having it off, not only do you get all the extra functionality that you will get in for certain abilities, but also you get accustomed to that nothing happens unless you select the layer, then you move it, select this layer, then you move it, okay? And now if I move it enough, I'll see that we couldn't see it just because this is a full opacity layer and it's hiding, just like if you have a stack of papers, it's underneath and you need to move it to the top. So this is why now with the ball on top, it turns out I don't have to point to the ball. I can be over here and I can still move the ball. And that's because it's all about what layer I've selected, not about the object itself. Does that make sense? So now point to the layer, put the ball on top, point to the layer, don't touch the ball, and move the ball around to make sure that this is working. And that's kind of what I want you guys to understand about the move tool. It's very important that it's all about the layer and not the specific item that's on the layer. The negative of all of this is that sometimes you have a layer that can't move. It really has to be in a certain place. It's so important to be in a certain place. And inadvertently, you might not notice that you selected the wrong thing, and you might not notice that you moved it just a titch like that. Maybe you just did something like that, which at first you're so busy that you didn't even notice that you left a little bit top and bottom. You see that? And then later when you try to fix it, you try to put it in place. Suddenly the masks don't fit, things are off because things have moved a little bit. So be careful when you're in the move tool to not be clicking and dragging things, because you're basically, the moment you have the move tool in your hands, you're going to be able to move whatever it is that the layer is selected. Okay, so now in this case, we have an object that was already cut out for us before, and it's floating around. How can we do something similar to the chameleon? How can we cut him out of his pink background? Well, let's turn this eyeball off for a minute so that we don't have to look at the ball anymore. Let me actually turn off this pink drawing as well. Oh my God, this is driving me crazy. Zoom is doing some weird stuff with my selections. Sorry, this is Zoom doing weird stuff. Okay, so the eyeball on that one is off, but the layer is still selected. So just because I don't see it doesn't mean it's not selected. Got it? So you need to make sure that you turn the eyeball off, but also go ahead and select the chameleon. And since I know, again, that this is something you guys have done with the same image, I didn't put a different layered image here. This is my last example with a chameleon. We're going to move on to something else. The people who are in my Friday class, they've already used this image, and I always try to have different ones, but I didn't. It just finished, but I've been teaching every Friday from the beginning of the semester, and many of those students are the ones that you see here. There's more, Friday had more students, but some of them are here. So I always, every time I teach Photoshop, I try to use different images. So whoever comes to class again has a whole different learning. Every now and then I'll use something for a short time that's similar. In this case, this is it. We already used. Yes, Tatiana? Your hand is up.
I didn't catch. Where is your ball? Do you you doesn't change the layers, but your ball disappear?
I don't know. Can you say again what the question is? I didn't understand.
Where is ball? You didn't
The ball?
Yeah.
yeah.
know why? To make the ball.
This eyeball, this eye right there?
Yeah, I
That
see.
just turns me seeing it or not seeing it. But the ball is still there. But I can still have it selected or not selected, even if it's turned off. So just because I turn the eyeball off doesn't mean that it stops being selected. I have to turn the eyeball off to not see it, and I have to click on the bottom layer to change my selection.
Okay,
so that we can now work on the chameleon. Okay, I could still work on the chameleon with the eyeball on, that's not a problem. But since I just want the chameleon for the next example, it's easier to turn it off so that I don't have to be watching him. But the important thing here wasn't the eyeball, rather the selection. I want to hide the pink background from the chameleon. So for that to happen, I need to select the chameleon layer. Okay. So now, one of the good tools that this contextual bar has, this guy that's down here that I'm going to move up so you can see him better into the pink. This contextual toolbar gives me a couple of buttons that are automatic that I would have. You know how last week we went and did all our selection tools right here? Well, guess what? There's a selection tool right there. Select subject. I could have used that instead of all these, but it's one of these. Basically, this is the same as the object selection tool select subject, which is there. So in a way, we were using it anyway. Anyway, just letting you know. So this is just like a quick access to the most, let me just change out of this tool, to the most possible important tools that I'll be using. Photoshop decides that most probably you want to select subject or you want to remove the background. And so or you want to adjust the colors. So it gives you those three over here. All of these are grabbable in different places, but it puts these in here. Now, if I told you I wanted to remove the background, so look how easy it is. Let's click on remove background. All right, select subject, remove background, or improved. I guess they've just updated the image. And so it chooses to continue on device or default to cloud. If you got this choice, it's because you have never made this choice before. Definitely the cloud gives you better results than device. So if you have to make this choice, definitely say default to cloud. And next thing you know, you look and the background has been removed. Pretty cool. Did that work for everyone? So I'm going to Command Z to undo that. And that was as simple as clicking the remove background. And it did it. Now, is it perfect? Removing this background, is it perfect if I look at the remove background right now? Yeah, it's really good. It's very good. But as I can see over here, there's still a little bit of this log. If I go before and after, I'm wondering if some of the claws were there. Now we're already at 100%, right? But since this is transparent, it's a little bit hard to tell. And I venture to say that if I had something there, I would see better that some of it has been left behind. This is a good opportunity for us to zoom in a little bit more. Command plus, and then we can hold down the space bar and drag ourselves around the edges of this chameleon to explore and see if it's doing well or not. And there's a couple things that are happening here. First of all, it's left that little bit of the log. Let me undo again and show you. It's that stuff there. That little knot in the wood that it didn't know if it was part of the chameleon or not. So it just left it there. And then over here, there's a little tiny bit of what is probably chameleon down there that it assumed was not chameleon and it got rid of it, which makes sense. But so it's not 100% perfect. That said, the chameleon in the background here look very distinct and very different. But when I say remove background, one thing we'll notice is that around the edges of the chameleon, there's like a pink shadow. And it's because the light of the background is being reflected onto the chameleon, which is typical of photography, right? I'm going to undo that again. We didn't look at this and see pink before, but now that we look at it, we go, oh, actually, yeah, pink was there. And it's typical. If you remove things around a dog that's on the grass, when you remove the dog, suddenly his fur has pink, green edges from the grass, right? That is fringing. If you look at the dinosaur scales, or iguana scales, see how there's kind of pink surrounding this little guy. That's because it's tinged with that background color. Let me go ahead and do Command 0 to fit it on into the screen.
Hi, Hannah.
This is something that we haven't done, by the way. Those of you who've used this image before, I'm going to have us do something we haven't done before. And I'm going to have us create a full layer of different kind in the bottom underneath this. Okay. We're going to create a new layer. Let's go ahead and make a new layer. And so by clicking on this little plus sign, we have a new layer. This new layer is always going to appear above the layer that was selected. So since I had my chameleon selected, the new layer appeared right above. I'm going to grab it and drag it underneath because I want to give it a different background. But also, look at the chameleon. What does it look like, this thing that appeared next to the chameleon? What does that look like? What does this look like?
A mask.
A mask, yeah. Remember all the masks we were working with the other day? But the masks we were working the other day were adjustment layer masks. Let me just show you. Let me just make basically a hue saturation. There we go. It was a mask that was hiding or not the effects of my adjustment layer. So if in my adjustment layer, I had made my, my chameleon be purple, then I could work on the mask to make more or less of it be purple, remember? The mask was on the effect, but now I'm going to undo that because that was just to show you. But when a mask appears right next to the pixels, that's considered a layer mask instead of an adjustment layer mask. And so it's masking out some of the pixels from the layer. It's masking out all that pink background, but that pink is still there. It's just being masked out. In fact, who remembers how to see a mask? How to see the black and white mask over here? What was the shortcut for that?
Hold on,
Option.
option.
Option Alt, and then click on the mask. There's my mask. So one way to fix this little bit that's missing, can you imagine what would be a good way now that we know how to work on masks?
Black.
Yeah, someone said black. How do I apply the black?
With the brush.
Yeah, first make sure you're working on the mask. You're not going to put black on the pixels. Make sure you're selected the mask, because watch for a second my screen. I can select the pixels or the mask in that layer, okay? I could have either side selected. So make sure you're on the mask and that you've done option click to the mask. And then let's ask the brush, which the best way is to click the B to grab the right brush. Then check what color of ink you have and then adjust your brush with the brackets, okay? And make it a small bracket and I'm going to paint just a little bit of black right there. That way, that mask is now perfect. Does that make sense? So we learn Option or Alt, and then click the mask.
Diana?
Hold down the Option or Alt key and then click the mask.
Hmm.
Option. On the Mac computer, the Option key or the Alt key, it has both names. So, oh, it doesn't say Alt. Oh, because this is not a Mac keyboard. This is the Option key on a Mac. On a PC, it's called Alt. And if it's a Mac keyboard, it says both Option and Alt. So it's the same key. And then you click on the mask.
Diana?
Okay. So in your case, it didn't take off
The log,
the log. And
except right into here.
yeah, so let me, I know, Mike, you're trying to ask a question. So give me one little second. I just want to say that when I did this with you Friday, guys, I was teaching from home. And my branch stayed, and for some of you guys, the branch stayed and your branch didn't. Sue, who is working on the same computers that we have here at school, her branch stayed, but mine didn't, and Paula's didn't. So each time you request one of these things, your computer is processing it on its own, making a choice one way or the other. So your computer chose to leave the branch, my computer chose not to leave the branch, but it was an automatic thing that we didn't do. So right now, we'll just go with its choice. Could be that you have to choose device versus cloud. I'll go check in a second. But Mike has been trying to ask something and Chamuel. So Mike, what's your question?
I was just wondering if Adobe has a way of making the selection, adjusting selection when it chooses it. Can we make it more
Adjusting-
sensitive?
Yeah, there's a lot of ways to adjust the sensitive. Right now, we just use a single click button choice, which
Okay.
it did what it did. And as I'm saying, for Sue, it left the branch. Only it took the branch off in between his tail and leg, but it left the rest of the branch. And for me, at least, it took everything off. I don't know if someone else at home has a different solution too. So that's just when you do the automatic one-click button, it does what it's going to do. When we want to do it, we have options, and then
Yes.
and we're going to go explore those options, okay? But for
Okay,
now,
thank you.
let's live with what the choice was made. Yes, Shamuel?
Yeah, I have the same thing. My branch didn't disappear.
Yours stayed with a branch on? Yeah. When I
Yeah,
did it at
except
home,
between a certain point.
yeah,
That's
when I did it at home, my branch stayed as well. And it, as I said, and this is always for better or for worse, each time you press any of these buttons, you are doing it to you and your computer is reacting and your result might be a bit different than someone else's. For the most part, there's not like 25 options, but there are choices that might end up different. And I always find that, especially when it's up to us to where we click. But in this case, it was just a button and it did what it did. Now, the thing is that there was no way to modify that tool. It just did it without, it was just a single button. If we use the tools that are here on the left side, then we can modify their choices based on whatever appears on the top. So now we're going to make our own choices for something else. But for now, I want us to click on this bottom layer, the layer 4, the one that when it appeared, it was up there, and I told you guys to move it to the bottom. So if you haven't yet moved it to the bottom, it's that new layer that we created. And we are going to fill it in. And what we're going to do, we're going to say Command A, which is select all, Command or Control A, select all. So if you're here on layer 4 and you do Command or Control A, now you should have these marching ants surrounding the entire background. Do you see that? And now for the first time, I'm going to have us, instead of putting in a gradient from blue to green or something else, I'm going to have us use the generative fill because I haven't used generative fill yet with this class. So notice that, and let me for a second, watch my screen. I'm going to deselect. I'm deselecting, so I have nothing selected right now. See how there's no arm there? And notice that down here, it just says select subject, remove background, adjust colors. Now I'm going to go, now that you're watching, I'll do Command A again. I have selected a background and notice how the choices have changed down here. This contextual toolbar has changed because it changes depending on what's available. I have selected an empty layer, and one of the most obvious choices is probably that I'm going to want to either fill it with color. Here's some tools for that. Or remove something. There's nothing to remove if there's nothing there. Or I might want to give it a generative fill. Generative fill is AI. So there's lots of good and bad about AI. I'm not going to get into that part of the conversation right now. I just want us to learn the tool and to understand its advantages and its drawbacks. So let's click on generative fill. And there are right now an empty box, and it's asking me, it's asking for a prompt. What do I want to do? But next to that prompt, there's just this little choice here that says FI. That means Firefly. If I click on this, it's telling me, do I want to use the Firefly from 2023 or the Firefly from 2024? Just so you know, for those of you who are already downloaded the Photoshop beta, which is the version that they're testing before it's the official version, this is where there's the new Nano Banana and another one that has a long name, Xeno something that I don't remember. There's 2 more models. So if you're doing generative, if you guys are testing the beta version, there's 2 more options. And the Nano Banana and the Xeno something Pro XY whatever are much more, let's say, give you much more amazing results than the Firefly will give you. But also they have higher resolution. The negative side of that, they really invent a ton of stuff that is completely alien to your image. So for better or for worse, let's go ahead and click in here and let's decide. I'm going to ask for a generic jungle kind of background. You can ask for beaches. You can ask for a sofa, you know, the iguana, put the iguana in the car. Just write something in there, whatever. The more detail you give it, the better. So we're just going to click in here and write something. So I think, do I want to be more realistic or crazier? I'm going to say, I don't know if Firefly can handle this, but I'm going to ask it to be flying a broom or something like that, flying a witch broom. I don't know if it can do that because Nano Banana could do that, but I'm not sure if Firefly can do that. But let me see. Make the iguana be flying on a witch broom. And by the way, I'm not expecting this to be a good solution, but once I finish writing the prompt, I'm going to then hit generate. Now, here's the problem. I did it on a new layer and I probably should have done it on the chameleon layer because it gave me an iguana flying on a broom, but not my iguana. You see that? Let me see if I give it that same prompt, but selecting the which layer. I'm going to do Command A, generative fill, make this iguana flying on a flying on a witch's, oh God, I keep writing witch with H. Broom. Generate. What's up? No, both times it gave me a new iguana. Only this time, since I said make this iguana, it actually put this iguana in the same position and placement. You see that? Of the other one versus the first time, it just gave me any old iguana on a broom. So this is a typical result from Firefly. If this were Nano Banana, it would have grabbed my iguana and put it on a witch's broom, for better or for worse. Now you're saying you don't have it.
No, but mine doesn't have.
Okay, so let's see what it does. So give it,
Mine says here.
jungle. Almost select what you wanted. This
Yeah,
feature is
that's
not
the thing.
available.
Yeah, that's what I see also.
Does your guys say this feature is not available? I'm just trying to see if it's the school computers or write the same prompt I did, which I don't think it has anything to do with it, but so both of the people who are here in class, what they're getting is a thing that says this feature is not available. So I'm just trying to see if it's about the computers they're on.
I try to change also.
Yeah,
Try to change them.
yeah.
I can use generative fill from here.
You can or cannot? Yes,
I
you guys
can, yes.
Click on the layer itself of the chameleon layer this time. And now say generate just to see if perchance. All right, so I don't know why, since it's both of you guys. I wish now I had 10 people here so we could compare, but 2 is enough and you're getting the same result, which is basically saying can't do it. So let's see if later it can do a different generate. And if not, we'll try it at home. But for now, it's okay because I'm not going to spend a lot of time teaching you generative fill because it's not us doing it. But I want to show you some things about the generative fill. First of all, over here down at the bottom where we wrote it, it's saying 1 of 3. So I can click on this arrow and go to the second result and then to the third result. Okay, so it gave me 3 choices. If I look over here in the properties layer and I go down, then already I could have seen the 3 choices. Okay, right there. Now, if you do this, you are using a credit. It gave you 3 results, but it's using up 1 credit. What do you mean 1 credit? Well, you can't do eternal as many as you want. You have a certain amount. So let's go find out how many we have. And if you go to your, let me share my entire screen with you guys. And then we're going to move on to something else because I'm not about to teach you much more about generating today. But I wanted to show you that at the top of the screen over here, I have the Creative Cloud. And I'm going way to the very top. Let me just put, I can put a little tiny color on my mouse now and then. Here we go, so you can follow it around a bit. So up here at the top of my screen, where I have all these tools, if you're on a PC, you have to go search for it on the search, but on the Mac, the Creative Cloud sets itself up there, and the Creative Cloud is where we update or change or, click on all our images and work on them. And if we go over here to this place that says account, it says view your generative AI balance. When you click on that, and it's interesting, last time it just showed it to me right there. It didn't make me go in, but here I have 997 out of 1,000 credits left. That means I've already used 3 credits, okay? Per month. Yes, per month.
Like infinite?
You could pay premium features and then you get not infinite, but many, many more, but you have to pay a lot more. But with this plan that we've purchased through school, we have 1,000 credits per month, guys. So that's a lot. But if you use it a lot, of course, then it goes away fast. But not all the features use it. There's other generative AI tools that we're going to use that tell you this one won't use any of your credits. But right now I've used 3 credits. Once I demoed it a bit the other day, and now I demoed it twice. I did two generative credits today. So I'm down by 3. So anyway, if you ever wonder how many you have left, and then it tells you it says 2,000 and October 27th. What's up? Click on that arrow, yeah, and then it says manage. I said manage account or something like that. I thought I had clicked, and then let me see. Go to manage account, yeah, and then it brings you in here, and then now go up there again. Oh, nope. It's there for me. Is it not there for someone? Paula can't find it on hers. Can you guys
Can't
find it?
on mine either.
I got it.
So when you go to your Creative Cloud, did you go to Creative Cloud first? Yeah, and you clicked on that. And you said, oh, you don't have it. For some reason, so go to your Adobe account. Okay, so hers is showing up different. When I click on this little icon, it says view your generative AI balance. She doesn't have it.
Mhm.
What's that? Oh, because you haven't bought it yet. Oh, okay, that's why. You don't have anything you bought. You didn't buy it yet. Yeah. So say cancel. Let's go to the Creative
Oh, there
Cloud.
it
Yeah,
is.
cancel first. Okay, let's go to the Creative Cloud. So everyone at home, tell me, give me a yes if you found it. Okay, say done to that. No, because you're using the school account, so it should be okay. Go ahead and click on manage account. But you have it at home, don't you?
I don't know what I have.
Didn't you say you have Photoshop?
Photoshop that comes under Creative Cloud, yes.
Yeah, but do you have it under, did you buy it with Pipeline?
No.
Oh, so then you wouldn't have it here either. Okay, click on account, but you wouldn't probably have it. Okay, so yeah, because I know Sue has Photoshop at home, but she probably isn't using her Pipeline account. You're probably using a personal account. Okay, how about at home? Did you guys, so Tatiana doesn't see it. Well, Tatiana, that makes sense because you're on VDI, which is not your account. But everyone else, Eric, how about you? Did you find it? Everyone else found it. Colette, did you find it?
They all purchase?
Everyone who's at home has it except for Tatiana. Tatiana's on VDI, so it makes sense that Tatiana doesn't have it. Because you're using your Pipeline account here at school to use this one, so it's not your account. If you went and signed into adobe.com with your whatever you use at home for what is your Adobe account, you would see it. So do this from home.
I
Okay.
don't have this up there either. Wait, I think
Are
I
you on a
just,
Mac or on a PC?
I'm on a Mac, but I think I may have just found it.
Okay, because you need to open your Creative Cloud first.
Okay, I see it now. Yes, it's
Okay.
there.
All right,
Indeed,
cool. So
990.
y'all found it.
Yeah.
Now let's do a quick screenshot. I haven't been doing, oh, Eric, you posted something. I'll go check it in a minute. But can we all go ahead and do a screenshot of this generative feature that we just did? And don't forget to grab your layers if you can. Let me actually move this up a little bit more so that I can see my tools right there. And I'm going to do a screenshot of that. But that doesn't explain why you couldn't generate though. Just explains why you're not using your personal account, but she should have been able to generate. So I'm not really sure why you guys didn't generate. Okay. And then if you do the screenshot of your layers, you'll see your different versions that you've chosen. Now, let me just show you one last thing about this generating, and then we're going to move on to something else. First of all, Firefly gives you things that are, in this case, as you can tell, very much like cartoony, not real. They're still good or bad, whatever illustrations, but they don't take your image and incorporate your own image, versus Nano Banana would have done something with our chameleon. Now, next thing, if what they give you is horrible and completely off, you can trash it, or you can keep all three there. You're still being charged 1 credit, but then when you throw one away or choose another one, sometimes it'll ask you, why did you not like it? It might give you things like that. But if I click on this, okay, let me go to, which one am I looking at? I'm looking at this one. If I go to this, see how there's like a little icon right there? If I click on that, okay, I can't show you that. This is to enhance the details. It says an error downloading the components, restart program, try it again. Okay, so I can't do that. This one is something that would give you enhanced detail. And then these 3 dots on the right side, you could say, poor, bad idea, not something I wanted. Report would be if it gives you something that's lewd, or, you know, in that sense, you would report like, oh, you generated an image that I shouldn't be looking at. Poor is just bad generation, or I want to just give me something of these 3. This is the nearest one. Now try again on this. So you say generate similar, for example, and then it'll give you 3 more, and that's 1 more credit. So I should be down to 996 right now, and it'll give you 3 more. And now when I end up my 3 more, it gives me 3 more of that style. You see, because I chose one that I said I like it. So now it gives me 3 choices that I can then like or not like. Okay. Yeah, but they're definitely 0 to do with anything that's mine, right? So that's why I'm kind of, yeah. If this is art,
Deanna?
then I'm a millionaire too. No, if this makes me an artist. Yes.
Is there a way to lock that layer 0 together so I can move the whole chameleon down without, exposing the mask?
The mask right now is linked. See this little link? It's linked to that. So you can move this layer up and down and it won't affect the mask. Just don't click on the mask. Just click on the layer to move it up or down. Whoops.
Okay, I get it.
Does that make sense? Because it's
Yeah, I
coming
think
in,
so.
it's linked. There is a way to unlink it. I'm not going to talk about that. And you can move it up or down.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
All right. So for now, that's about it. That's all we're going to do as far as generating is concerned when it comes to completely generating an image. But I will keep teaching you tools that use generative AI as the tool to work on our own photos, though, which is something I'm much more interested in doing. And now, if you ever want to see all the choices again, you can click on the layer, and that's when you see the choices that were given to you. And they stay there. I can always go back to the first one if I wanted to, as long as they've been made, they don't take them away. And over here, the name of the layer is the prompt that I gave it. Okay. All right. Oh, I forgot. There was a different choice here. Variations on this one. Okay, I didn't notice that I had variations on this one too. Oh, because it was the second one that I did. Okay, so I have a lot of different variations. I had chosen the middle one, and that's why I went there. Okay, so that's all for now for this layer. I want you to know layers are, you can see them, not see them. They're there as long as you turn them on. You can move them around. You can stack them differently. You can mask them. And for now, we're going to save this file. It was already a layered file, so this time we don't need to change anything about it. But I myself, I'm going to do a save as, because I want the original to stay with only the chameleon and the ball. And I'm going to save as to create a new one that includes all of these new generative layers, so I can have them there to study up. Now, I see a couple of hands are up. So while I do a save as, Tatiana, you're first. What's your question?
When I try to generate this new chameleon-like witch, it's this feature is not available.
Yeah, I'm thinking that it has, I'm thinking, and I'm not sure, that this has to do with VDI. Or the school. The two students who are here in school using the school computer couldn't do it either, but I'm also using the school computers and I could do it. So that's why I'm not convinced that that's the reason, but I'm not 100%. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try other tools with generative AI right now that we have. And if none of them work, then I'm going to call tech support and see what's happening. But if it was just this one that uses a lot of computer power that for any reason it's turned on, then that's okay. But I want to see now. We're going to go on to do some other tools and let's see what's up with that. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
VDI is the school computer again.
Mhm.
Yes, Samuel.
So I understand what we are doing with layers and all the tools and all. And this may not be a subject for this class, but how do we merge some of our layers together if we like something?
Okay, that's a great question. How is very simple. More the answer is why. Why would you want to merge them?
No,
First of all, let me
that's
show
what
you
I
the
don't
how.
know. That's what I
Hold on.
don't know. That's what I'm asking.
Let me show you the how, because it's very simple, you guys, and we're going to do and undo. So watch. If I want all these layers to be merged, I can go right here to this little icon right above the layer. See where the layers are? I can click on that little tiny hamburger icon there. And one of the choices I can make over here is flatten the image. Boom. The image has been flattened. All my layers have been merged. And of course, sometimes this is useless because this image is useless. But sometimes it could have been that I had finished putting everything where I wanted it and then I flatten it. Then my question still is, why would you do that? Because you are then permanently sealing something in place that you can never change. It's as if you really went and cut and painted and pasted and that's it. You don't have the original anymore. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I right now can undo, fortunately, so I'm going to do that, Command Z, and I undid that, so I'm still fine. But had I kept going and I had to save that file that way, then it's all lost and gone forever. No, you wouldn't be able to detach. Watch. If I say save, merge, flatten. If I were to detach this ball right now, what's left under this ball is emptiness. It's nothing. Say that I were to go ahead and I'm just going to really abruptly do this thing where say that I grab that piece of that ball and I get rid of it. I can't just get rid of it. I have nothing underneath. I don't have the chameleon and the earth. You know what I mean? It's lost. You lost it. Exactly. So now I'm going to Command Z to undo that. But I completely lose the ability to change anything. So the quick answer to that is you rarely, if ever, flatten. You might now and then do something where you flatten two layers together to merge that effect onto another or something. But any flattening or any merging of layers is a destructive modification. So you're basically going to keep accumulating whatever layers you need until you get the results you want. And then after that, you're going to export a flattened JPEG version of the version that you like. But you're going to keep the layers because if not today, maybe tomorrow, maybe in 5 years, there's a new technology that allows you to do the same thing only without a halo or with a better cut or with a better iguana or whatever it might be. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Or if instead of an iguana, you want to turn it into a tiger.
I'm gonna do it now on Photoshop.
So this one, exactly, this one stays as a PSD. This one, of course, if I save it now, so if I, yeah, if I close this one right now, and it's a PSD. If I go back to Bridge, where was it? Here I have my original. And then I saved as. I didn't save this one. I created a save as with all this mess of stuff that we did. And it'll stay that way forever until I either want to get rid of it or I go, oof, I want to take that out, and I'll double click and open it. And there we go. All my layers are still available. Okay. But if I say, oh, this is perfect, this is the image that I want to use for my next whatever, then I can export a flattened JPEG, use it for my website, use it for my brochure, use it for my flyer, use it for whatever I want to use it. But this one stays always layered. And then when I want to use it again, but this time they want it to be daytime, then I can just modify this one. And then I export again the daytime version. Got it? So hi, Moni. Thanks for joining us. Been doing a little bit of generative fill discovery. But mainly it was giving a little bit of understanding of working with layers and the tools, remove background and stuff like that. So now we're just in time because we're going to change subject matter. Yeah.
And Padlet
Hold on.
screenshots.
Someone asking something? No. Okay. So, oh, screenshots. That's true. Get some screenshots, you guys. And post it in the Padlet. I've been, so my whole mouth has been getting pasty, so I'm having to drink every time I talk. Let's go to the Padlet and post the screenshots. Let me refresh. Let me give a quick little, Deanna, remember that we do put your, so everyone, if you didn't do a screenshot yet, at least go and, you don't have what? Well, but you have the layers, which for you is what you're learning with the mask, with the removing background, so you can post that. So here I'm gonna say, opened a layered file with 2 pixel layers, modified, moved, and generated new images. So they basically did a whole bunch of stuff, but right now that's what matters is everything we did. And then oh, that's true. I changed where my, hold on. I changed where my Photoshop sent their screenshots. So it went there. Okay, so this is just a general learning about bunches of different parts of it. Look at that, you guys, when you put them in the jungle. I would like to see what prompts you use. That would be fun. But basically what we've discovered is that none of these are good. This one's actually almost a photo. It did give you a photo. Okay. This is the only one that gave us a photo. Writing on a keyboard. I like your version, Eric. The rest of us got more like a bit more cartoony creatures, right? Yeah. Or just generated backgrounds, right? Without the iguana itself. Because I made my iguana Brno Beach, but it didn't adapt to the iguana at all in this case, right? So anyway, so that's the limitations of that generative fill. Now, we're going to go ahead and let's close this one. So I did a save as. You can keep it as the one and only. Let's close it. We don't really need to come back to this one. That was just like I was showing you some tools. I was teaching you some stuff, but I want to start with something totally new. So let's go back to Bridge. And now let's start working on some of these generative tools that are actually useful. First of all, there's generative AI tools that are available to us in Camera Raw and others that are available in Photoshop. And some of them are the same one, and some of them are a little bit different, and sometimes one work better than the other. So it's becoming accustomed to all they are. Now, people who are in this Wednesday class, you haven't used Camera Raw yet. So can you go to Bridge for a second and notice that down here where it says remove thumb, and it's a .dng. So a .dng is a digital negative file. It's a camera raw image. So for those of you who haven't heard of raw images yet, I'm assuming Tatiana and Paula, this might be new to you guys. Right now, all that matters is that when you open a raw image, and this is a raw image, it's not going to go straight to Photoshop. It's going to go first to a feature called Adobe Camera Raw, and we're going to process this image inside of there first before we go into Photoshop. So let's double click on this thing and let's get going with that Adobe Camera Raw. So here we go. For some of you guys, it might say, welcome to Camera Raw, because it's the first time you use it, then say, okay, open or continue or whatever it's needed. And then you'll be in something similar to where I am. Yes, Tatiana?
My VDI said could not update smart object files because Photoshop does not recognize this file or type of file.
Could it be that you have the issue we had the other day with Google? And did you?
No, today I sign in.
Okay, so then I'm going to stop my share for a minute. Go ahead and share your screen, and then I'll show you a workaround. So go ahead and share your screen, and I'll show you a plan B. Okay. Cannot update smart object. Is this when you tried to open the DNG?
Yes, like I can
Go
show
ahead and
you
say okay to that first. Go
this-
to Photoshop.
this-
Wait. Go to Photoshop first. Go to
Photoshop.
Photoshop first. Say okay to that. You can't leave something without answering, otherwise it freezes your whole Photoshop. Okay, go back to Bridge. Yeah, and Bridge is not showing you the images.
Yeah, like Chameleon 2, it doesn't show my chameleon. I just showed the chameleon like
Yeah. Like a thumb, yeah.
yeah,
See
like
how it's not showing
here.
any of your DNGs.
Yeah,
Now they're showing you. And you did disconnect from Google Drive and re-sign in today?
yeah. I was disconnect and restart. Oh, I can hear you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, here.
All right,
Here.
so can you go down here to the Google Drive? Let's give it one more try. Click on that again. Oh, I hate it. Zoom sometimes does that. It doesn't let you. Okay, so now go over here to, let's go over here.
Settings.
Click on that. And then let's go to preferences. And now go back to this icon again and say disconnect account up here. Say disconnect. Okay. Cool. Now let's go to Google Drive again and now sign in all over again. Say get started and do the whole sign in again. So now you can close that window. Okay, and now let's go back to this PC. Let's just grab it again. Don't grab it from there. Close this. Just say quit. This is just a welcome tour or something. Close that, yeah. Okay, so go to this PC and let's grab it again from scratch. Double click on Google Drive. Go to My Drive. Just to
Full,
make sure, click,
my drive.
let's go the
Mhm.
long way around. I want to make sure to see. And now double click on that one. Just to have it go all the way in and get all the stuff again. And no, it's still. I know that they were having some issues with VDI the other day. Okay, so here's plan B. First of all, go down to the image that I just said and try it one
Oh,
more time.
I can see chameleon now
Yeah, you're
because
seeing the chameleon, but you're still,
before I couldn't see it.
they're going, and see this DNG is coming in. So maybe the other one will come in. So go down to the one that we have to use, and let's see. It's a bit lower down.
Yeah, I see.
Remove it. It's
I
there.
see.
Okay, so double click on it now. And yep, it's gonna work. You have to give it a minute. Perfect. So say
Oh.
get started at the bottom and it worked. So yeah, you really have to connect and disconnect from the entire thing for it to work
Okay,
sometimes. Okay.
thank you.
All right, so everyone else, give me a, I haven't cleared your answers for a while. Give me a yes if you all have camera raw open and ready to go. And I'm going to share my screen again. Okay, and here we go. All right. So as we speak, I'll slowly be updating you a bit on what a raw file is, but right now I just want us to notice that you're not in what recognizes Photoshop. Now, if you're really new to Photoshop, you might not know. This is not what Photoshop looks like, right? It's this program that is in between Bridge and Photoshop that allows us to process images without all the layers, everything that we've been doing today. It allows us to process images in an always non-destructive manner. And Eric, you're accustomed to you're accustomed to Lightroom. So basically, Adobe Camera Raw and Lightroom have this same engine to use. But if you don't use it on a raw file, then when you open a JPEG, that's not a raw file to start with. I know that's my alarm telling me I need to give you guys a break, but hold on. You still can open Camera Raw inside Photoshop and use this again from inside Photoshop. So it's in both places. It's from Bridge to Photoshop and it's also inside of Photoshop. But right now we're using it in that transition from Bridge to Photoshop. Now, let me set you up with a few things with this and then we'll take our break first. But we're going to be using some tools to, did you notice that down here at the bottom, there's obviously like a thumb in the camera or something. You can see that, okay? So we're gonna see how we can fix that. First of all, when you open many images, it is kind of good to have this film strip available because it shows you all the images you're working on and you can switch. But right now we only have one. Let me just explain to you. So you don't need to do this, but let me show you. If I had opened this one, and that one and that one, all three are camera images. And I had selected all three and I'll double click, then see how I'd have all three here available for me to work on. So that's what this is called. It's the film strip. But if I don't want to work on all three, then there's no point on having this open, which is kind of how we have it. We're only working on one. So when you open only one, then we don't need this open. So click on this little icon here to collapse the film strip. It's this one. So since it's not necessary, it's just taking up more space of our, unnecessarily using up space on our computer. So we don't need that. So that turns off that film strip and you leave it. And so now you can see the image better and you see that there's quite a big thumb. It's quite a big portion of it is missing. We can't darken it or lighten it away. That either has to be cut off, or we're gonna see what the computer can come up with to replace that missing stuff, okay? Now, since it is about ish, is it? It seems so early. Is it time for break? It is 6:30. I guess it's just that since we started a bit later because of some tech issues. How about we do this? Leave that open, ready to go. I'm gonna stop my share. Let's take our break and then let's come back. Files open, ready to go. What time is it? It's 6:36. Let's say it was 6:35, 45, 50. So let's be back at 6:50 p.m. Did I get that right? That's 15 minutes or so. Did I?
14.
14. We're good. We're getting 14 minutes. Okay. I'll see you guys in 14 minutes.
Okay, Archie. Two things. Do you want something to eat?
Hey, Rebecca, your mic is on.
Okay, can you guys hear me again? All right, I had to go look for water because my mouth is getting pasty and anyway. All right, so how are we doing with Padlet? I think you guys have been posting. Yep, there we go. All right, good. Photoshop. Okay, so we left you with this file opened in Camera Raw and a thumbprint that in the past, the only way to solve this would have been to do crop it out. Yeah, there's nothing, you know. There's a possibility I could have replaced the steps, the missing steps. I could have copied some of these missing steps and put it down here and done a bit of retouching and stuff. So it's not 100% impossible. But you know, these are smaller than here and the angle's a bit different. So it wouldn't have been perfect, but I could have made it work. If this was necessary, like the photo has to have it, there would have been a way, given that you have something similar here. But if I had to, you know, invent something else, we couldn't. But now we're going to go to some tools, whoops, that Camera Raw does have. And we're going to try those, and then we're going to try the ones that Photoshop has. Okay, so let me get clear your guys' answers at home. And now, oh, so over here on the right side, for those of you who've never used Camera Raw, you're probably more like, oh, maybe like this is how you have it open or something. When you first open it up, there's all these choices of things that we can do. And we will come back to this for those for you for whom this is totally new, but I've done a lot of this work with other people. But if I click over here, I do light corrections, color corrections, effects, things like that. But where I want to go right now is actually on a different tool. And this tool that we're using is that top one, all these little sliders that you move back and forth. Okay, so that's the sliders icon. The next icon here is for cropping, but we don't want to crop right now, so we're not going to use that. And the one underneath that is it's like an eraser. That's the remove tool. So that's the one that we're going to use right now. So let's head over to the remove tool, which is the third one down of all these tools. And we can remove things here, some in particular. And some generic. So first of all, I want to just show you one of the specific ones. So see down here where it says remove people. Now, if there's a person that's a first, you know, a portrait of someone, they won't remove that. But what it does is it's remove people who are just kind of in the background, like when you do a beach scene and suddenly there's two people popping in there that you don't want. So see those little two people right there. Let's see if it recognizes them. So let's head over here, click on remove people. And when you do that, it just is automatic. It finds distracting people in the photo. Let's see if it figures them out. So go ahead and do it and see if yours does it. This is also, so now, if you might notice in my case, it made a little red area just about where those people are. Okay. Overlay color is red. Now, if that image was of a red balloon, that wouldn't have helped. So we could click on that and ask for the overlay to be a different color. You see that? So in case it so happened, but otherwise the default red is fine. But sometimes it doesn't work because you happen to be on a red flower or something. So then you can change the color because then you wouldn't see it, right? But that basically means that's what it's going to do. If we agree that that's the place where the people were, then you just hit remove. It's basically, this is generative AI, you guys. And there it is. It removed those people. Did it work for you too this time? Okay.
That's so cool.
Now, I want to see the before and after to see what it looked like before it removed it. And over here on this remove, I can click on the eyeball. This is turn it off. Before, after. Before, after. You see that? Now, it's so tiny. We're at 20% of this image and I want to go to 100%. So down here on the left side, you see how it says fit 20%. That's how tiny I'm seeing it. Hit 100%. And then with the space bar down, you can zoom in because you can never decide that it's a good job until you see it at 100%. So now that we see it at 100%, do we feel the same way about that job? Let's see. Eyeball off, eyeball on. Oh, I hadn't even seen that third guy over there. I had seen the first two. Yeah, so seen at 100%, suddenly it's like, I don't know, because see how it changed the steps. And there's a weirdness there that doesn't look like steps. You see that? At least in my case. And again, this could have been different for different ones. It added more green over here where there was another person. It removed a second set of banisters that were here. But most importantly, it's kind of weird what it did there with that round thing. Click on that again. What's that? It added plants to hide that guy, and then it added wall. So let's try it again this time. I'm gonna
And you
undo
lost a
that.
railing.
And it lost a railing, yeah. So I'm gonna see it next to the eyeball, toggle visibility, there's a reset. So I'm gonna reset that. And the good news is that this tool, although it is using generative AI, it is not counting against your credits, okay? So this time, I'm gonna do it again. And by the way, you can open this little eyeball there to see it more. And this time, what we're gonna do is we're gonna see if we can modify it a little bit to have it give us, oh, is it not gonna let me? Oh, it's not gonna let me. I wanted it, this one, oh, see in Photoshop, you can modify it. I wanted to, you know how the other day we modified it and we made it have less of a, on Friday, we used a similar tool, but in Photoshop, and we could modify and tell it, don't choose all of that, don't choose all of that. But what I'm noticing is that right now, to exclude an area from removal, click on its pin and press the delete key. Okay, oh, so there you go. So there's the pin. See that little thing that's the pin. And now press the delete key, but that's the whole area. So now it allows me to choose the people. So I'm going to choose just the people, but I can't be completely exact. You need to give it something to work with. But now I'm going to just choose the people and see if it does a bit better of a job. Now, again, you have to go a little bit around them. You can't be completely not, you know.
Can I make the brush smaller?
Yes, and you make the brush smaller with the brackets as always, right bracket and left bracket. Okay, so let me cancel and show you this again. I thought there was a way. I was surprised that there wasn't. Okay, so see how there's a little pin there? You click on it and then hit the delete key to delete that choice. So delete key from your keyboard, click on that, but click on the center, wait, click on that little erase button thing first. So go take your mouse all the way there, click on that. Okay, here, let me, have to be right on top of it. Okay, now,
Click on.
try again, click. Go and select the delete now. Or I hit the delete key. Okay, delete. Okay, now put your mouse down. Instead of doing it automatically, it's giving, you get to choose what you want, but you can make it bigger or smaller to get more detailed or not.
We lost you.
Yeah, so I went to 100%. Maybe you can do it with the shortcuts. Let me see. Command 1. Yeah, Command 1. It does the inside of this. It doesn't. You have to click that 100.
Well, what happens?
Click on 100. Click.
What happens if we say go up to 200?
Oh, go. Yeah, but 100 will be more than enough.
Well, but if we're gonna select,
Okay. Try it. And then you have to do hold the space bar. With this hand, you can press down, and then with this one, you drag yourself around. So click and drag
Oh,
so that
that's
you go
better.
back to where the people are. And now your tool is set to just drag. Oh, did we lose the remove tool? Go back to the remove tool. I think you might have to do the people thing again. Yeah, click on that little arrow, see if it opens, and you can just go straight to yeah. So now select that and hit delete. And instead of having to go on this, yeah, but you first need to select that first to tell it what to delete. That's the automatic one. And now you can hit delete. So don't move your mouse again, just hit the delete key. That way you can be in the area. Now your mouse, move it around. Now you can drag around and you can choose them. Now you can't be exact. You have to give the computer something to work with. So you need to be a little bit bigger than them. You can't just give them only that little bit. Like here I have like space in between the two. That doesn't make sense. You should add that space so that it doesn't have to have this weird little, but it doesn't need to have maybe so many steps. Maybe it doesn't need that space there. So you can give it a bit of a thing. In this case, I will choose these banisters because otherwise I won't know what to do with them. And then let's give it another try. Okay. So then we'll say remove again. And yeah, I like it much better. How about you guys? Do you have a better result over there at home?
I lost part of my railing.
Yeah, if I look at this railing, it's kind of gone, right? Which is like, so then maybe it is better to lose the railing than to have such a weird little bit. That said, we could recreate this piece of a railing because we have some other railing over here. That would be inside of Photoshop, not in VDI, not in Camera Raw, but maybe we try again. So then let me just, and by the way, see how it's a generative remove fill? So now I'm gonna Command Z and then try again. Maybe I'm gonna be a bit tighter to this guy. See if we manage to not lose that railing, but I'm gonna be generous with their bodies because it did that well. So anyway, you get the idea, right? You have to just give it a try until you find the best solution. And maybe since all of us gave it different selections, you might discover that some of you guys were really happy with what you had. And if you lose a railing, well, so be it. We have so many railings that not in here, as I said before, but in Camera Raw, we couldn't reinvent the railing. Now I'm gonna see if I get closer. Now, say that I went too far. Guys, look, if I went too far over the railing again, just watch me. This is a demo, so watch me. I went over the railing and I didn't mean to go over the railing. I can hold down my Option key, so you put it in minus, and then erase that part from the railing because you don't maybe do it correct the first time. So now I can get a little bit closer. And then if I went over his body again, I went, oh, that was too much. Then I let go of the Option key and then I add it again. So the Option key lets me, if I go over again, made a mistake, Option key, and then fix that. Does that make sense? No, just the Option key, which turns it into a minus. And then when you let go, it's in plus mode.
So
Right.
mine doesn't work when I do the Alt.
It doesn't
That-
turn into a minus version?
It stays the plus.
Well, then go over here and choose subtract, then
Okay.
subtract, and then go to add and add. I always like the shortcuts because they don't have to go doing that back and forth, but that's the tool. If the Option or Alt that isn't doing it, then that's what you do. And then now this time I'm going to be really right to their feet. And let's see if I can avoid the banisters being taken out. I'm going to see because maybe it'll leave a piece of the leg and I don't want the leg either. So I'm going to just give it another try right there and say remove.
I got
None
a
of
good
these.
one.
Oh, wow. I love it.
Yeah.
I got all my railing. I got a new window. We had two windows. Now I have a third window. The curve of the building is
Did it
stayed.
work?
The bush is in the way of the other guy, but it didn't get rid of those railings. Who
Oh,
who
God.
can tell that there's one little railing missing? Is there
Um,
someone trying to come in?
So I'm probably gonna have to go.
Let me go and see
Well,
if
let me
someone's trying to
just-
come in or
I'm-
if it's
I'm
the
right in the
next
middle of
door
class
neighbor's
right
door.
now.
Give me a second, because
And
it's possible the door looks
I'll try to
closed.
figure it
I
out.
could, in case someone's trying to come in.
Okay, thanks, honey. Sorry.
Yes. Someone trying to come in? No. Ay, hola, ¿qué tal? Estoy en clase todavía hasta las. Ok, muy bien. Yeah. The cleaning people are like, wow, you're still teaching. Yep. Okay. So yeah, I like that. I'm really happy with this. How about you guys?
You got a better window than I
The
did.
window was generatively created. I got lucky. Same thing. Sue here is going, how did you get that window? It's nicer than mine. Well, they did a good job. It gave it the right spacing. I'm like really happy. Sometimes like hers, she got a window, but it's down here somehow, which still looks okay if you don't look at the details, but it's, this one looks really good. Whatever.
It
Generative
messed up
AI,
my
it does whatever it's
second,
gonna do. What's that?
it messed up my second floor window.
It messed up
Yeah.
your second floor window, so maybe you have to say remove and try again. Good news is they stay. Like if you leave now and go and change the exposure or something, whatever, right? You can just go back to remove. And when you go back to people, there's that, you click on that, you delete it and you start again. Does that make sense? So pretty cool. In the end, we had to market ourselves. So it wasn't such a people, the people choice gave us too big of a choice. You know what I mean? All right. But now that we're done with that, and if
Right.
everyone's kind of happy with that, or if you're still working on that.
Yeah,
keep
I have
going.
a question because mine just keeps it. It just looks like it's a ghosted reflection. It doesn't. I have
Okay.
not had gotten a
Let
good.
me see. Go ahead and give me your, go ahead and share your screen. Let's see what's happening.
Okay.
Because there was something else that was weird on yours too. So let's see what the.
Yeah, and I didn't. Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
So do you see how it's a ghost? This part here.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh,
this
wow.
one. This is the
Okay, so
first
stop for a minute.
time that
One thing I'm noticing, go ahead and click because it looks like you're not using generative AI. Go ahead and click for a second. Because right now
Oh.
it's not live there. And
Okay.
let me just turn on the eyeball, the pencil. I'm noticing that over here, it doesn't say that doesn't have generative AI turned on.
Oh. Okay.
And I think you're using the general removal. Were you using the people removal?
Yeah, I was using the people,
Okay, go ahead and open the people.
so I have to do this up here too, though, right?
I don't know. Let me see. Mine, yeah, mine had it turned on, so that's all I'm saying.
Okay, so let's see
Go
if
ahead
that
and
helps.
remove that one, but also look at all that stuff there that it was. It's like, did you use the dust version or not?
No, that's just how it looked when I opened it up.
Okay, so go ahead and delete this one completely. No, but it's still, oh, so that's your, there we go. And fill it in. Okay, and now go
Oh,
and
I
grab a
didn't get his.
little bit more of his head, a little bit more
Yeah.
of his head. And then go and get the back guy there. Just do it all in one. All right,
And then remove.
let's give that a try. And you did turn generative AI on, yeah, you did, okay.
So that's probably what it was.
Maybe, because remember, we've done both, where sometimes one worked better
Yeah.
than
See,
the
I
other.
didn't. This is the first time I got a
This is
window.
much better, but you didn't get the cute window I got.
No.
But what I'm saying
But it's
is,
better.
each result is going to be a little bit different, right? So
Yeah.
in this case, I'm pretty happy with that. But it
Yeah.
seems like it invented something over here. Or is that how the window is? Let me see. Is my window like that too? Has like a little, no, my window doesn't
Oops.
have that.
I ended. Yeah. Solid.
So that's a bit strange, but anyway, whoops. What's that?
I got a small window here.
Okay, so So you got a window that has a weird little notch here. Paula
Mhm.
has one window total and it's somewhere around here. Sue has one window, it's here. You have this weird like space
Red.
there, like a crawl space under that.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a matter of just reselecting and trying again. As you see, there's not much we can do with it. Now over here, you have generative remove turned on, but that was on now because you turned it on there. Otherwise, before you didn't have that turned on, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? So anyway,
So that seems to be useful.
Yeah, but
it's,
I don't think
but
there were
sometimes, because
windows.
what you guys who did my Friday class learned is that we've tried a couple, and we've done it in other classes in the past. Sometimes you go, whoa, the generative AI version was horrible. The non-generative is better. Depending on what you're using. Other times it's clearly better. You don't know, but that's why I'm showing you all the options. There's a couple of other options that I haven't shown you yet. And then you get to say, well, this was not bad. Let me try this one. Now, how do we do this was not bad? Pay attention, you guys. I'm going to show you how to save this as one choice and then go on and make another choice. And then we can go back and forth and see which one we prefer. So I'm going to say that I go to Photoshop. The choice we have right now, say it's the one we love, even if you don't, let's say we love it. We're going to go do this. We're going to save this as a snapshot. So 2, 3 down, here we go. We have this tool, which is the snapshots. Okay. So I'm going to click on that. And now I have no snapshots of this image. I'm going to make one right there. And what that's going to do, it's going to capture the settings that I have right now. So I'm going to call this one people removed a good one, for example. Like, let's say this is my good one, right? Like, I like it. Or I can be more specific, like the time I did it, or 2 windows I can write or something, and I'll say, okay. All right. So let's go do a snapshot there, right under, like, that's where the remove tool was. Then you have another tool, then you have an eyeball, and then you have the link that's the snapshots. You click on that. And then once you have that, then you just click on this little icon right there, and that's, you make a snapshot. And it basically captures all the settings of this photo as they are right now. All right. No, all the edits that we did. And the only edit we did here is this remove, but we could have already changed the sky, made the walls green, modified the plants. We could have done any edit we've done. The only edit we've done is we did one people removal, and we like it enough that we're saving it. Some of you guys might still not like it, but we're saving this one. Let's go back to the remove tool now. Once you have one saved, let's go back to the remove tool. Let's open people and let's delete this one. Let's say that we want to try again. So I'm going to go click on it and delete it. Yeah, I'm going to delete this version. Oh, hello. It's not giving me my people back. Hold on. Why is it this time not allowing me to remove that choice?
I don't have delete.
Well, you have to select it, and then it gives you the delete choice, but for some reason, it's not giving me the choice to remove it. I wanted it to do it again and then to save it as a different snapshot, and then we could choose one or the other. No, there's no like history here. Well, we have the original reset remove. Let's try that. I'm going to go all the way up here where it says remove. I have my eyeball. Nope, but that, yeah, there we go. Now we have back the people. Let's hover over again. let's remove the one they're giving me, which is too big. And now let's go and do it one more time. This time, I'm going to choose a bit differently just so that I get something that's obviously different. I'm going to choose my banisters this time and see what it does. If I choose my banisters, just to have a different choice. And now I'm going to say remove again. Oh, I kind of don't mind that solution either. It gave me another 2 windows. This time the only thing is that I am missing my banisters, but the stairs that it gave me are normal and the background it gave me are pretty normal. So I prefer the first one, but this because it kept the banisters, but that was me. I purposely removed them this time. Mainly is because I want 2 very different ones. And now I want to go back to my snapshot, say that I like it, go back to my snapshot and make a new snapshot and call it people removed, no banisters. What? You got like a garage thing area. That was weird. So now, okay, so watch me, you guys, for a second. So now I made another snapshot. And now I can go between the first one or the second one. First one or second one. See what I mean? That was the first choice, which I like better. And this is my second choice, which is not bad, but I prefer my first one. But at least I was able to create 2 snapshots and then I can compare and then I go, you know what? I think I'm going to stay with the first one. So I go back to the first one and I leave it there. Does that make sense, you guys, what I mean about the snapshots? So you can keep doing it a few times. I mean, when it's obviously bad, don't make a snapshot of it, try it again. But if you get something you like, save it, try again, save it, and then you can compare 2 or 3 versions until you find the one that you prefer. Once you've done that, once you've tried 2 or 3 versions and snapshots and all of that is working for you, give me a yes, those of you at home. And then I'll watch over you guys over here. And if there's any questions, if it's not working for any reason, let me know. Oh, that's kind of cool. So you did your snapshots. Okay, so go back to the remove tool now. Yeah. And now we're going to get rid of that removal by going to that redo. So the people are back. And now go back to people again, and we're going to do all over again. Let me see your 2. Yeah, you have like a.
So this one, I removed that little window and I kept just
Okay.
the one on top, not the
All
one
right. Cool.
and then this one.
And this one has, that's weird.
Yeah.
Like if you see it from afar, who knows? But it just, if you really look at it, those are the kind of things that people leave in photos and people say, oh, I can tell it's AI.
Yeah.
It's because of things like that. But if you really look closely, it's like, huh?
Whole part
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. Okay. So let's click on this so that it goes to almost 100%. There we go. Now select that little guy. Cool. And now hit your delete key. So it gets rid of that. Cool. And now mark it again. Oh God, over here, that. Now choose a different version so that you'll get a different solution. All right, how did it go over there? If you're liking what you're seeing, if you're understanding mainly what a difference it makes to be able to save and see again and save and see again. And if you like it, then give me a yes. If you have any questions about it, give me questions.
Diana,
Not if you like it, if you did it and it worked, give me a yes. All right. Now, when we're done with that, we can head over and I'm going to zoom down, Command minus a few times, because now we have this humongous area. So I'm going to go back to the remove tool. And here, I made a choice already, by the way, on which remove I like better on the snapshot. So I'm going to stay with a good one. I'm not going to use the other one again. But based on these changes, so I choose the one that I want. Now I'm going to make more changes. Does that make sense? So now I'm gonna go over here. Did you make a second one, Sue?
I did.
And you like it better? You don't like this one? Okay, well, don't bother to save it. Now let's scroll down, hit the space bar here.
What if you
Drag
do
your
if
way
you don't like
down
any
so
of
that we
yours?
can see that thumbprint. What's that?
I don't like any of mine.
Of your removal, people removal?
I
Yeah, I got
agree.
weird windows and a doorway that appeared and
No, keep trying. I tried, I tried 3 times and I actually like only one of them. But every one that I'm seeing here has a different solution. And in fact, oh, by the way, hold on. Let's do a screenshot of
I
that because
definitely
here
agree.
we are now, I want to see the different solutions that you all got. So, but the things that happened over here with Paula are very different than what happened with me and with Sue. So let's go ahead and do a screenshot of this people removal. And you guys know that there was people there before, so it's okay. You don't have to show the people before, but just show the result. Oh, by having this on that I'm actually showing the red. Yeah, in the Padlet. So I'm gonna do a screenshot of this area. And then let's go to the Padlet. Do you guys need the link again or you're all fine with the link? Let me put the link in there one more time. Let me copy and paste. There we go. All right, so I'm going to post camera raw remove people tool. We did it a few times and saved 2 snapshots and chose the best one. The original automatic removal did not work well. We had to delete that one and then use the tool by hand to avoid losing too much original information from the photo. And then I'm gonna put in my screenshot. Let me see which one. That one. Is that one? Upload and publish. Yes, Moni?
So when something's funny with mine, and so I made a snapshot, and then I went back and I did it again, and I went to make another snapshot, and now and then I couldn't bring the people back, and and now there's only one.
So the only way I got to remove the people back was removing it from the top, from the whole remove tool from the top. It was hard when I was trying to remove it the second time after I did my second snapshot, they wouldn't remove. So then I went and just did a big remove. Now for better or for worse, that worked because we only had the people removal.
Okay.
But this is every removal. So say that we had made a reflection removal and a dust removal and a people removal. To using that one, they would all go away. So that was kind of weird. I was surprised by that. I couldn't move them. I couldn't individually remove only that one. But anyway, but that at least removed the people so that I could then do it again. Okay. So the truth is we ended up using the basic removal tool is what I'm saying, because the people removal was the automatic one. When we went and redrew it, that's the basic tool. And we're going to use that one for the thumb area. So I'm going to clear your answers here. Give me a go. Is everyone ready to go ahead? We're going to
Diana, I
scroll
have a
down.
question.
We're going to scroll down to the bottom. Let me go Command minus a few times until I'm sure I'm seeing the whole thumbprint. Now I'm not going to use one of the automatic ones, which ultimately we didn't. What we ended up doing to the people is as if we had done this one. Now there's look at the title. There's the generative one, which is this one. Well, we can choose to use it generative or not. There's the healing tool, which is similar to the tool we used the other day, just the spot removal. Let me make sure we used that one here, didn't we? Like the first day. Oh no, I didn't do spot removal with you guys. I did it with the other class. So glad I checked. Okay. So this healing tool is not generative AI. We've had this one for a while and it does a great job, but it doesn't regenerate stuff. So if I use this one right now, and don't bother doing it, but I'm going to show it to you right now. If I just did like that with this one, right? With the spot removal tool for something like this, and I let go and it's operating right now.
Woo.
See, it invented something totally different. Like that one right now for other stuff, it's going to work, but not for this one. And then this one is the last solution where I would clone something from there to put in here. So it's the solution where if the original one doesn't work. So let's try the first one, which is the generative AI. Now there's no objects to detect because this is just a thumbprint. So now I made my mouse really big. And now I'm going to just drag beyond the area that needs to be repaired, not a ton more, but I want to make sure that I don't leave anything behind. So I'm going to go about yay big. And then when I let go, it marks with red the part that I did. And if I'm fine with it, that's the area I want to go, I'm going to give it a try. I'm going to hit remove and it's going to use generative AI. I'm going to hit remove and let's see how well it invents or doesn't invent. Not bad, but I have 3 choices. Look, variations, 1, 2, 3. Before I go to variations, 1, 2, 3, I want to show you something. I have a choice to see how much of it I want to show through. So I can, in this case, there's nothing good to show through, but sometimes you're replacing something. Look over here. I could make this 50% opaque or 100% opaque or all the way down to seeing the, again, you see that? So the effect is changing how opaque it is, how much it affects it. So I could bring it down a little bit to make it not so light or something like that. It's possible. Now, I could also choose, hold on. So that's generate remove. Let me go to the 3 options. 1, 2. Oh, the third one works. It's not the same pattern of rocks, I agree. But it's better than 2 and definitely better than 2, and it's still better than 1 because here it invented a yellow wall there, kind of from there. And there's some light spot. If I'm going to not notice it, I'm going to notice it more there than here. Let me see, 1, 2, and 3. And maybe if I bring down the coloring on this 3 a little bit, it's kind of blending a little bit more, isn't it? Kind of like, don't mind that. If I don't like that, I can generate again. But I'm kind of okay-ish with that one. Now, could I grab some of the existing rocks here and try to duplicate them here? If I had more rocks, yes, but I have such a tiny patch that if I try to use this tiny patch to create more over here, I would probably end up having exactly the same thing 3 times. Because if I had a big patio, I could choose some rocks from here, from there, and make a new one. But right now I don't have that. So in the context of the whole image, if that is too noticeable, maybe I can just crop a little bit of it, like that much, right? Or something. But it's certainly better, I would believe, than if that wasn't there at all. So let me do the eyeball before and after. So given what it had to work with, I'd say that's not bad. Yeah, the steps look perfect. It's just the generated rocks are kind of iffy. I mean, they're great, but they look like newly set stones versus stones that have been there for basically thousands of years, which is the reality. Now, how about, since I'm not sure if I like it, let's do that again. I'm going to snapshot it. I don't know what result you guys got. If you guys got a result, I'm going to go and snapshot this one. But I would go newish looking rocks. And then I would say good steps. Like I like the steps, but I'd like to see if I can try again for slightly more natural rocks, but I'm gonna say okay to that. Plan C, which wouldn't be too good, might be to actually completely select those other rocks as well, so that then it replaces all the rocks, and that might look less fake than to have half of them look, you know, that way and half of them look that way. You know what I mean?
I like my rocks.
Yeah, and the thing is, what's to say that they didn't have to make a repair and put some new rocks here and, you know, whatever. What I'm
No,
saying is
mine look kind of old, I think.
yours look good. See, that's the thing. We all have different
But
solutions.
my people was terrible.
Mm,
So can I ask?
Yeah.
So I liked actually my first and my second choices.
mhm.
So I went to go make a snapshot, and now I wanted to do the other one. Have I lost now the other one? Because I'm not seeing my choices as 1, 2, and 3 anymore.
Up here? Or you mean in the generative?
In the generative.
Yeah, so
Hmm.
yeah, it's not a possible
So I
choice
picked the
anymore.
wrong one. Okay,
I'm noticing. Oh,
maybe
look
I'll
at
try it
that.
again.
Ah, Paula got some nice little pieces of grass growing through hers,
Mhm.
which looks even
Yeah.
more natural than mine. I like
I got
yours
that
too.
too.
I'm jealous.
Yeah, that's
I'm
what I got as
jealous.
well.
You have nice little grass growing through
Mhm.
yours?
Yeah, I
Cool.
think mine looks pretty perfect.
All right. Now, my point is the one that Moni didn't made, which is, can I go back to it? And I'm surprised once again that you can't, because again, I feel like
Yeah.
in Photoshop, we can always go back to them. This one, oh, Mike's turn. If you leave it there and don't do anything, it's your selection. I went to snapshots and made a snapshot so I could come back and try another one. But what I'm discovering is that I don't have my other choices available anymore. I would have to do
Yeah.
it again. I would have to remove it and do it again. I'm worried that if I remove from up here, I'm going to remove even my people. But the good news is that I had saved it as a snapshot. That's not so terrible. Oh, let me let Mike in. I let Mike in 3 times, but it looks like he's not connecting correctly. Let me see.
There he is.
There you are. Okay, Mike. So how's it going, Tatiana, Eric, Shamuel, Colette? Colette said you like your rocks. How, Shamuel, Tatiana, how are your rocks doing? How are your rocks doing?
Not very nice.
Mine look okay.
Yours look okay, Eric? You
Yeah,
gave me a
mine
yes.
look pretty good.
It looks pretty good. So it looks like you got better rocks than mine. All right. So my solution here, let me see, show overlay on hover. Here it is. This was what was off. Moni, I knew it had to be somewhere. I'm going to turn show overlay on hover on. And now I see the little overlay. Okay, so now I can select it. And here are my variations. 1, 2, and 3.
How did we do that?
So I had to turn on,
Oh.
okay, so this feature here,
Gotcha.
show overlay on hover. I had to turn it on so that now I can see that little area. And when I click on that area, now I get back all my generative versions. Now I
Diana?
saved my version as a snapshot, and this is important. If you have one that you like, save it as a snapshot or you won't be able to go back to it, because within that same choice, we now have, and I think I had chosen variation 3 was my choice. Yeah. I'm going to go help you in a minute. But once I go back to it, this was with generative remove. But I could have said, well, just give it a try with just remove, for example. So I'm going to just try just remove. I just changed from generative to remove. And let's see what it does. Ugh. Horrible. In this case, really bad. Let me try heal. And that's the one where it selected that area and it put it there. So that's no good. And clone. It's weird. I've never done a clone that's automatic. I don't like either of them. I think the best one was the generative remove with my 3 choices. as I said, we've tried this before with other photos, and other times you choose B or C, right? It doesn't necessarily need to be that the generative is the best, but right now I do believe that generative is the best. Now, kind of jealous of you guys that you guys got green. So I'm going to go and try mine again. I'm going to go to my brush over here, and I'm going to maybe add a little bit of green on mine to see if now, and I'm going to hide my original rocks a little bit more. Let's see. I'm probably getting a bit too much, but I'm going to give it another try. So now, good thing is I have one snapshot of the first choice, right? And now I'm going to try again. Ha! I got rock, I got green. I like this one. And the rocks are kind of hidden, so that's good. Let me see, 1, 2, that's very bushy, but it still works. Ooh, it invented a weird thing. Okay, so of all of these, I think I prefer choice 1. Now I'm kind of torn about whether choice 1 or the one with the plain rocks, but
Deanna,
yeah.
are these snapshots, are they actually,
Hold
do
on.
they have full pixels? Could we say, oh, I
Yeah,
want
the
to,
snapshots aren't a snapshot of pixels or anything. They're a snapshot of your edits. So the edits, meaning I'm going to go back to snapshots now and I make a last one. I'm going to call this one rocks with grass growing on steps is my last choice. Oh, it doesn't say rocks, but anyway. So now I can choose the newest choosing rocks or the grass growing,
oh,
right?
okay.
But here's what I want to say, Paula. Paula's mentioning her people are back. So when you chose and you did the undo to start again, you should have come back here and chosen to start from where the people were gone. Does that make sense?
Yeah, then I can't combine.
You can't combine. So you
Okay.
don't start from 0. You come back to the good one where the people were there, or you have to remove the people again. Oh, I just made a bigger selection this time where I included a bit, because the first time I had only selected the gray thumb area and I had included grass. So I guess it didn't include any grass, but this time I selected a bit bigger, which I prefer to have the original, not to have, you know, more fake. But in this case, it made it a bit more real to have more fake because it got the snapshot. It read grass and I went, ooh, let me put some more grass. And I think it helps hide the fact that the rocks are a bit fake. So, and the shadow here, I like it better. The other one had like a spot of bright here. This was my first rocks over here, and see how it gave me some spots of light, which they don't not make sense. They could be, it's dappled light. So it's not that it doesn't make sense, but it drew my eyes towards that versus this one. There's no weird dapple light. My eyes don't go there. So it's more like I just look at the image. I don't have any reason to look down there. Does that make sense? Because there's less of a thing to look at. Okay, so now that was it for showing you how to use some of the remove tools. In this case, we consistently decided that the generative remove was the best one. Again, it all depends on the image. So don't lie on your laurels. I'll try only this one. Sometimes you'll discover that it isn't the only one that's a good one. Now, if we were trying, my mic keeps falling out and in. I don't know how much is getting from this. I'm sorry to know. Here he's back again. If this were a period picture, you know, a movie or whatever, where you're trying to do period, you might go in and you might remove these electric boxes, for example, or stuff like that, that looks modern. And you know that with these tools, it'll do a good job of replacing stuff that looks like what's around it, right? In this case. So now, once you choose the one that you prefer, to clarify again, Colette, these are all non-destructive choices. It's basically code that's created in the background that's saying, okay, I'm going to change how those pixels look now to look like they have grass. But the original image still, if I were to cancel and not keep any of this, the original image has no steps at all. It has a thumbprint in there. Now, where do we go from here? So we made all our stepped choices, right? Our different stepped choices. And now we can either say done, cancel, done, or open. And even the open can be done as object or as open as a copy or as open. So there's 5 choices of what I can do here, okay? The one that we're not going to do is we're not going to say cancel. If we say cancel, we basically lose everything we've done and going back to the beginning, right? So cancel is not a choice. Oh, by the way, I'm going to do, yes, let's do a screenshot of whatever grass you chose. And I'm doing it here at the snapshot level so that you can see that I have 4 snapshots before I got to this. So I'm going to do a snapshot of this for the Padlet. Okay. When you go back here, there's not that much to see here. At most, if you do hover over this and show it, you could see the, you know, the variations or something. But more importantly for me is the fact that I kept saving so that I could try and try again the snapshots. So now let's go post it. Head over here and post the grass. Diana. Oh. Generative remove of the gray thumbprint. We had nothing on the bottom left corner of this shot. So it wasn't even removed. It didn't even know what was there. There was just nothing. Tried a few different options and saved snapshots of each choice until I arrived to my final one, to the best one. And there we go. And publish. Okay, let me see your guys's. So now we can see both the removal over here. Tatiana has 3 windows like me. I like that. And I like your rocks. Wow, yours are even nicer than mine. Oh no, this is mine. That's why it looks like mine. I clicked on Tatiana. Okay, you left your people there. So the people, okay. So why do you have people? This is what happened to Paula. Why do you have
I
people?
have another without people.
You have one without people, yeah.
Yeah,
And one
yeah.
with good stairs, but you
Yeah.
can't combine them. That's the problem.
Ah,
So when you remove the people,
I need to remove the people with stairs. Okay, with correction stairs.
got
Okay.
it? But let
I'll-
me explain it to everyone. So
Mm.
if you like the final removal of people, then on top of that, you build the next one. Otherwise, if you have no stairs in one or stairs in one and no people in the other, they're not like, you can't merge them like you would like Photoshop layers. So it's one or the other. So once you have one you like, you build upon the next one you build. But the fact that you can do the snapshots give you the possible steps for you to be able to still make choices, because otherwise you would be stuck with the last one. Rebecca, you have the newish rocks without grass. Well, a little bit of grass right there. Yeah. What did you say? DNG format, that's a camera raw digital negative. We're going to talk a little bit more about that, but yeah. Okay, and then the rest of these are the people removal. So I only have 2 or 3 steps. Mine, Tatiana, and Rebecca's. If anyone else has their steps up here. Oh, here we go. Moni, Colette. Okay, so you're all putting your rocks in there. Okay, great. Back to Photoshop. All right, I want to see everyone's choices, everyone's ideas. I haven't explained to new people what's a camera raw, what's a DNG. Let's leave that for a little bit later, okay? I want to move on to this because you can apply these tools to any photo. This is a raw photo to start with, which is the part that I'm not going to screen right now. But if you had a JPEG, you could still do this to a JPEG. So right now what we're doing doesn't really, it's not based on what image. The question is, where do we go from here? Say that we're done. We don't know how to change anything else. Maybe we do. We want to make the yellow building pink or add flowers to the bushes, whatever. But let's say that we're done, that this is all we want to do. Then cancel would ruin everything. We would lose it. So let's first try done, and then we're going to try the rest. So I'm going to try done first. Done. Everyone say done to your image wherever you're at. Let's say done. Now let's go back to bridge. And the thumbnail of the image that we worked on now has these little sliders, which means that it's been worked in Camera Raw. And this thumbnail is representative of the corrected one. See how there's no gray splotch there? See how we have a step there? And if you need to see, make these a little bit bigger, watch down here. I can change this zoom to move it up or down. Paula, Sue, look at me. You guys have very small ones. You can just move this up and down to make it bigger. Or you can click on a plus a few times to make it bigger, because otherwise when you have it really tiny and you're just seeing them, so like they're seeing them like this. If you're seeing them like this, it's kind of hard to tell. So you can move it up a little bit to see that better. Or plan B, watch what I'm going to do. I can select it and then hit the space bar and a big version of it pops in. And then I go, oh yeah, people are gone, stairs are here. And I pull down.
Diana,
Where was it? Did you have it by file name? Yeah. Where did yours go? Start by date modified. The whole file is missing. You guys have some weird things happening that have never happened ever. How's the file missing? It's not like you don't just download the R's, remove distractions, remove wires, and the file is just not there at all. I've never had this happen. Hey guys, for some reason, the two people here lost their photo.
I have the original.
Oh, you,
And this
no,
is
it's
the
not the
corrected one.
original.
No,
This is a corrected one, so you have it. She lost it.
I lost it.
No, that, you didn't lose the original. Hold on. I don't, Paula's photo is missing from her bridge, like not the original, not the chain, like the photo just disappeared. And I don't know what to say, so I'm gonna go and spend a bit more time after class is over, but I wanna finish up with everyone here because class is over in a few minutes. So let me just first show you what happened. So let's open it. So Sue was like, I lost the original, right? No. We didn't save as, we don't have two like we had yesterday. So we have the corrected one, but it's non-destructive corrections. So watch, I can double click. It opens up again. And now I can go back and choose again the one with banisters, with the gray. And then I could say done again. And now I go to bridge, and now I have the thumbprint back, but I don't have the people because I went one step back. Or I can double click, open it up again, go back to my snapshots and choose again the one with the rocks and say done again. Does that make sense? All the edits that I made are still there. And I can make more. I can now say, okay, now I'm going to go and add flowers to the bushes, change the color of the houses. Like the original, all these choices are still there. You can build up on them or get rid of them for everyone except for Paula. From here, right now, no. There is a way to export a separate one, but right now from these choices, which is ones I'm choosing, no. So did everyone open and close it again?
Yeah.
And other than Paula, everyone has their code. I'm wondering, because you were working half on the photos, let me just, no, because you opened it from there. Just, you know how you had the other downloads that I thought we had gotten rid of it. So we have gotten rid of the other one. So it is fun. So sorry. Close it and quit and open again. But I can't imagine. Because At most, you might have lost the image, but lose.
Oh, it's also the original. Like, it's so weird.
This says never. Why would you lose the original? Where would it go? It doesn't make any sense. I have never seen happen what happened to Paula. Her image is just gone. Anyway, but I can't figure it out right now. I wanna tell you guys what we do next. Then that's done. We can open it and close it and do as much as we want to it and it won't be gone. Now, what if we did want a duplicate, right? Because we wanted just the flat original. In this case, who's gonna ever want that thumbprint? No one. But what if there's an image where you have a yellow version of the house and a pink version of the house, and you want both because you want to be able to choose later to go one or the other? You could always come here and turn it on or off, or you could just right click and duplicate. And the good news is both of them are identical right now, but both have the same corrections. So I can now open one of them up. This is the one that's called copy. So I can leave that one be the corrected one. And I'm going to go back to the original remove thumb, double click. And I can go back over here on this little guy, go back to the default settings. See how my people came back and my thumbnail came back, my thumb, whatever, t-shirt, who knows what was in the way, camera strap, and people are back. So now I say done to this one. Then that's the original one. See, remove thumb, the thumbprint is still there. And then this is the one, I can just right click and rename this one and call this one remove thumb. And instead of calling it remove thumb copy, I'll call this one remove thumb and people, for example. I'm gonna call that one remove thumb and people. And so now that's my other one. Does that make sense? Now, normally these files are so big, unless there's a really good reason to want to,
Can't hear you.
We can
Can't hear
hear
you.
you. We can hear you.
okay, you hear me now? Since it's funny, today I had the tech guy here because we had a lot of sound issues and he had to fix some big stuff. And I told him again, hey guys, 2 or 3 times a day, people can't hear me. And he's like, okay, I believe you now, because everyone in class was telling him it's true, but shouldn't be happening. Like, well, I don't care what it shouldn't be. It certainly is happening. All right. So next time we come, we're going to talk about what other options are from here to move on, and how do you export different versions of this, and how do you continue with this in Photoshop. And then we're going to see what Photoshop does around these kind of tools. Okay. Please try to open a photo, any photo of your own, and remove some stuff. Go find a beach that has people walking on it, or footsteps on a sand that you'd rather have beach with no footsteps or something, and do some removing so it looks like it's a pristine beach, or snow without broken snow. Just give it a try on stuff and see what works and what doesn't work, and post it here, okay? Because a lot of this is discovery, as you can see. A lot of the time, oh, look at Mike. He removed grass a bunch of times and he made a grass-free step. He gave us clean steps. And
Cleaning
I
up
noticed
this town.
from afar, I saw all these little things turned on, and I said, what did he do? So you went by with a mower, with a scythe. Yeah, but there you go. That's a perfect example of just do some more, okay? Just practice even on the same one or a different one. Just try. Oh, okay, so Moni removed the electrical boxes, okay? Cool. Rebecca, yeah. Just so you know, it's 7:56. If you need to go, just go, please post. I'm back. I'm staying here to answer questions, but I don't want to keep you further. Practice, practice, practice. You have a lot of time between Wednesday and Monday. I want to see posts up here of stuff you've removed. Or that you've made masks and used adjustment layers and stuff like that, okay? The stuff that we did the other day as well. All right, Rebecca, what's your question?
Well, first off, I did all my work on the previous class's photo rather than the Hyflex. But what's the difference between copy versus duplicate?
The command was make duplicate, but the file name gotta name some, remove some copy. So it's the same thing. Like, let me share
Well,
again.
when I right click, there's two options.
Oh, because copy, okay. I see what you mean. When you copy, here we go, back to bridge. When you select something, if you duplicate it, it duplicates. It gives you a second one. But if you just copy, it sits there in the clipboard. It doesn't give you a second one. You would have to go to another folder. And I'm going to go into my recipes folder and into my soups, whatever. And in here, I'm going to right click paste. So now I created a paste in here. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
You copy and then you paste it somewhere. Okay. Versus we said duplicate and it created a copy right there. I just thought you meant that that duplicate came up with a name, remove some copy, right? Because it was a copy of the first one. But that what the duplicate copies and pastes versus the copy copies and then you paste it somewhere else. Or
Yeah.
you can paste it right here. You can also right click and paste it right here, and then you'd have two of the same one. So it's like,
You got to make sure you're working off of the correct folder.
yeah, yeah. Well, if you had it from the folder of the other day, it's that same file. I added files, but I didn't take away files. Sometimes between classes, I add and take away. This time, since both are running at the same time and I couldn't take away, I just added to today's class.
And
So
and
you're fine
remove
either
some
way.
is in both of them.
Okay. All right. Anything else anyone wants to know other than I'm going to go and try to find Paula's image, Paula's stuff. Otherwise, we'll just download it again. All right. Keep posting and have fun. Do good work or bad work. Post the bad work too. Remember, things that don't work are also very instructive. And that is not really bad work, but post things that didn't work. Let's not call it bad work. I'll see you guys on Monday.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.